few years ago, I went through a pretty rough patch in my life. I had just gone through a breakup with my girlfriend of 5 years, someone I thought I'd spend the rest of my life with. The psychological toll was immense, and I found myself drowning in depression. Days blurred into each other, going to work, barely eating, spending weekends locked in my room, binge-watching movies just to numb myself. One Saturday night, I was at home on the couch, mindlessly clicking through random movies, when I stumbled upon some low-budget horror film. It had terrible audio, so bad I had to turn the volume up just to hear anything, only for the next sound effect to blast through the speakers and almost burst my eardrums. But for some reason, I kept it on. I guess I was too lazy to change it. Then, about 20 minutes in, I started hearing something odd, a metallic clang. It didn't match anything happening in the film. It wasn't part of the soundtrack or sound design. It was out of place. At first, I thought it was part of the movie, but as I listened more carefully, it became clear that it was coming from somewhere inside my house. I froze, trying to figure out if I had imagined it. But then, 45 seconds later, the same clang rang out. I couldn't ignore it anymore. I grabbed a knife from my desk and went room to room, checking every corner, but nothing was out of place. I was about to go back upstairs when I heard the sound again, quieter this time, coming from my bedroom. My mind raced. What could it be? I thought back to the fact that I had opened a few windows to let in the spring air. Maybe the sound was coming from outside. With that thought, dread started creeping in. I peeked through the window to see what was going on in the backyard. And there, just 20 feet from my house, was a kid. A little boy, holding a PVC pipe, standing still in the darkness. The moment he saw me, he smacked the pipe against a UAA deck chair. My heart started pounding. What was a kid doing outside at this hour? But as the minutes passed, the eerie feeling intensified. The kid had been standing there for what seemed like ages. I couldn't shake the unease creeping through me. I thought maybe the kid was lost. But as I stared out at him, something didn't feel right. Why wasn't he calling for help? Why was he just standing there? I cautiously made my way toward the back door, turning on the porch light in hopes of making the situation less tense. But the moment I reached for the door, a sick feeling washed over me. Something was wrong. If this kid were really lost, wouldn't he try to get my attention in a more obvious way? Just then I hesitated. Instead of opening the door, I moved to a small window by the door to get a better look, and there, crouching low to the ground, were 2 men, wearing black, hiding behind the door, waiting to ambush me. One of them saw me looking through the blinds and locked eyes with me. My pulse shot through the roof. I backed away from the window, trying not to panic. I dialed 911 as I bolted upstairs, locking myself in the bathroom. Then I heard it, bang, 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 the sound of someone trying to break through my back door. My heart was in my throat. A few seconds later, the footsteps grew closer. They were inside my house. I heard them creeping up the stairs. They reached the hallway, and then I heard the doorknob turn. My breath caught. I held my ground, terrified, until I finally shouted, "The police are on their way!" The sound of footsteps rushed back down the stairs, followed by a door slamming shut. Then, silence. The police arrived shortly after. They didn't find much. No evidence, no cameras. But when I mentioned the child's involvement, they seemed to take the situation more seriously. They said it didn't sound like an impulsive crime, but something more planned. I never found out what the hell was going on that night, but that image of the child standing there with the pipe still haunts me. I can't help but wonder what they were planning and if that kid was ever safe.